What's poppin', YouTube? T-Money up in the heezy. Happy Saturday evening. Here to bring you guys a quick little collection update. Got a couple of things came in the mail over the last week or so. As I previously mentioned, things have kind of been slowing down in terms of my spending and whatnot lately. I just haven't been buying quite as much. Trying to not spend like $1 million a week on movies, but still, I got a few things in over the last couple of days. A lot of DVDs, a couple Blu-rays. So let's get right into the update, shall we? What was I gonna say? I don't even remember. All right, doesn't matter. So, okay, yeah. So shout out to Horrors Ball. Tom, always, like, probably one of my favorite top 3 YouTubers ever. I just always love watching his videos, and I learn so much about film from him. And on that subject, I was super late. He always does his annual Horny Awards. So if you haven't checked him out, go over to Horrors Ball, not horror. When I say that, it sounds like I'm saying horror. I'm not calling him a whore. I'm saying Horrors Ball. He's awesome, and he always does his annual, and like one of the most knowledgeable horror dudes out there as well. So he does his annual Horny Awards, where it's like basically a take on, what do you call it? Like the Golden Globe Awards or whatever, the Golden Horn Awards and it's all horror. So he and his buddy, Lucio, God, I'm drawing a blank now. Lucio Finchy, who's an awesome dude as well. I think they're just like really good friends, and they do it together. Finchy's a guest on a lot of his episodes or whatever, his videos as well. But they do all different kinds of categories, and you know, from like best director, best special effects, and it's all each year. So obviously 2018, the last year, I was a little late coming to watch it, but I always watch it, and I watched it twice, and when the year is over and I think I've, like, you know, seen or heard about every movie that came out in 2018, whatever, 2017, I watch his Horny Awards, and there's always like a slew of movies that I knew nothing about, from like not even knowing the titles to let alone what they're about. So most of this update is actually a shout out to Horrors Ball, because I picked up a bunch of movies that he either nominated or won, you know, the categories for, and for all different kinds of subcategories of horror, from best actor to best director, from best music to best slasher, just so many different categories. It's awesome. So I highly recommend you guys check him out if you haven't seen him. And that's a good way to watch too, to jump right in to the Horny Awards, because if you're curious about, and if you think you've seen everything that came out horror-wise for each previous year, he's done it for like the last 6 or so years, something like that. You haven't, I assure you. So anyways, first one up, picked up because of him. I'm not sure if it got nominated, but it was definitely, or what's it called? If it won anything, but it was definitely nominated for I think it was the best visual design, but whatever. I'm not gonna go on that tangent anymore. But yes, I found out about this from him. Housewife. It says a sick and twisted ride. It's basically about a woman who's haunted by childhood trauma. She gets in line with this cult leader, and she's led on a twisted journey of waking dreams that will begin to unravel the fabric of reality and reveal the truth about her family. So, what does it say? Something about, no, never mind. It's not the right quote. But yeah, so anyways, that's House. And if any of you guys have seen any of these movies, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But that's Housewife. It's from RLJ Films. Familiar company. Another one from the Horrors Ball Horny Award nominees. Dead Night. This is cool. I'd never seen this movie. I watched this last night. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's got an awesome cast as well. It's got Barbara Crampton, as well as, I love the dude from The Signal, 2007 The Signal, and he's also in House of the Devil, The Sacrament. He's in a bunch of movies. What's his name? A.J. Bowen. I love him. He's so good. For some reason, he's not even like a great actor, but he is. I don't know. There's just something about A.J. Bowen that I love. I love watching him on screen. But Dead Night, it's pretty good. This family, they load the kids up and they go to a remote cabin in Oregon, or Oregon, however you pronounce it, for a weekend. And it's got a really nice snowy setting, and then just really cool creature effect, or special makeup effects, I guess, on like the I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really good. Family basically stalked in the woods, and there's more to it than usual, but it's got an awesome cabin, isolated cabin snow setting as well, which I love for horror. So if you're looking for a pretty cool, and I think this only came out on DVD as well, but Dead Night, it's from the guys who brought John Dies at the End. So who directed this? It wasn't directed by the guy who did, oh, what the fuck's his name? The big actor who directed John Dies at the End. But yeah, it's really, really good. Mixed original storytelling with timeless supernatural elements. And it's this director's directorial debut as well. Features stellar cast, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I love Barbara Crampton. And this scene in the beginning is so cool. I didn't know they featured it on the back. But it's so fucking creepy. It's probably, I mean, yeah, I have to say, it's probably like my favorite. I was like, because it's like basically this, it starts out in like 1961, and there's this couple kind of doing their thing, kissing and making love in the woods or whatever, and they're like Cadillac or whatever it is, you know, total cliche, Lover's Lane type stuff. And then there's this, not to spoil, whatever, there's this image where the girl thinks she sees something in the woods, and it's this, come to find out, I'm not going to spoil anything, but this image peeping through the trees, and I had to like pause it and rewind. I was like, wait a second, that was fucking creepy. I want to see that again, and I just kept rewinding it because it was like really, really, really creepy image. But yeah, check it out, Dead Night. We'll just do the DVDs first. There's one more DVD, another one from Horrors Balls. Recommendations, I guess. Well, I just had heard of all three of these movies. Had not heard of all three of these movies until I watched the Horny Awards. The House of Violent Desire, I think this one he nominated for Best Visual Design or something like that. Best Visual Presentation or whatever. A psychosexual thriller disguised as a ghost story. I haven't seen this one yet. But it says, in a remote hilltop mansion, a mysterious stranger emerges from a thunderstorm in the night. Seeking refuge, the Whipley family, 4 adults ruled by their strict religious mother and their troubled father, who vanished the previous night, take the unexpected guest in. But perhaps the stranger is more connected to their family and the dark unknown history of the house than they could ever suspect. As the visitor begins to cultivate sexual tensions and paranoia within the house, the devilishly erotic history of the Whipley family threatens to lure them deep into lustful, violent madness once again. Sounds pretty good. I couldn't help but think of that Christmas horror movie, Red Christmas. Just on the beginning of the theme. I'm sure it totally takes a different turn with the house. But yeah, cool. Sounds good. So, House of Violent Desire. It's got to be good. If Horrors Ball nominated it, it's got to be decent. Alright, now, well, there's one more that was a recommendation from him, so we'll get into DVDs. We'll start off with that, since this is all Horrors Ball recommendations. They Remain. This one was nominated multiple times throughout the Horny Awards for multiple categories. So, an unsettling audio-visual, and I'm really surprised I hadn't even heard of this. They Remain. An unsettling audio-visual immersion into psychological disarray. 2 scientists are sent to investigate strange occurrences on land once occupied by a cult. After weeks in isolation, they realize they are unable to trust the wilderness around them, the corporation that sent them there, or even themselves. Powerfully nightmarish. Yeah, so there's tons of quotes. So, yeah, sounds good. I read that faster than I could digest, but They Remain. So, sounds... It's not the best synopsis, to be honest, but hey, They Remain. It got nominated multiple times. So if any of you guys have seen this one, let me know. Could be a good little creature feature. I don't know. Alright, and now we will get into the rest of the stuff. I have one unboxing as well for you guys. So a friend of mine in the local area recommended this movie, said it was amazing. So it was kind of a coincidence because we were just chilling, and he was like, yo, have you seen Bad Times at the El Royale? And I was like, no, never even heard of it. He was like, I fucking loved it, man. It was awesome. You got to check it out. So a couple days went by and I was browsing on Amazon and this movie popped up in, you know, some sort of feed or whatever, suggestions. So I was like, fuck, I'll grab it. And at the time I couldn't remember where I'd heard about it, but then I put two and two together. And so yeah, it's not horror, but it sounded good. It sounded kind of fast-paced, thriller, suspense, action. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys have seen it, Bad Times at the El Royale, I heard it's really, really good. Group of people get together at this rundown casino and I don't know, shit goes down. That's a T-Money synopsis for you guys. But yeah, so cool. Blu-ray, DVD, digital. I like the red border and stuff. It looks cool. Makes me think that the case is red, but it's not. It'd be cool in a red case though. All right, now we got one from Shout Factory. Come to think of this, I'm thinking there was another Shout Factory release I got that I should have included in this update, but I don't know. This is a new one from Shout Select. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. A childhood classic to some. When's this movie from? 1988. You know, to be perfectly honest, I hadn't seen this movie. It's kind of one of those, I think, comedies, slapstick comedy movies that, you know, you got some schmucks. But it's got Steve Martin and Michael Caine. I mean, come on. It's just a movie that slipped through my radar, so I wanted to pick it up. Shout Select put it out. Nice little slippy dippy. Number 61. It's crazy. Inside this, they have the list. Like, collect them all now. Like, it's great advertising, but it's like, instead of putting a J card inside of the case or whatever you call it, they put this double-sided card, and it's just all of the Shout Select releases to date, like 1 through 65 or whatever there are. And it just says, like, collect them all. So it's definitely a sucker like me gets aroused from something like that. But yeah, so just one I had never seen. I'm sure it's hilarious and good, but yeah, Shout Select giving it or Shout Factory giving it the select treatment. So hopefully it's funny. Great cast, that's for sure. Alright, and before we get into the unboxing, we have the long-awaited, highly anticipated Hotel Inferno 2. Never seen this movie. Not big fan, but I enjoy the first film. I think it's really original and unique, and the gore is just outstanding and top-notch and fucking brutality at its finest. So Necrostorm's Hotel Inferno. Funny story about this movie, I ordered this like probably 40 days ago. It never came. Was in contact with Necrostorm. They were super chill. They were like, listen, if anything bad happens, you know, you ordered it beginning of December, busy season, coming across the pond or whatever. If anything bad happens, we will definitely, I don't know where Necrostorm's from, but it's not in the U.S., I know that. But if anything happens, you know, we will definitely take care of you. Do not worry. They were super cool. Always very responsive, too. When you email Necrostorm, you get like a default, yes, we received your message and we are pondering and we will get back to you, something like that, like a default message. Anyways, you know what I was fucking saying. Anyways, I just said that twice in a row. So, it never came. They sent it out. They were finally like, all right, cool, we'll send you out a new one, and we're going to give you something in addition because of the fuck up or whatever happened. It's, you know, and it claimed the tracking number said the film was delivered, and it clearly wasn't. The next day, literally, this is like 2-3 days ago, it's there in the mailbox. I emailed them immediately. I said, listen, if you've shipped the movie out, send it, or retract it, get it back. I received it. I don't need it. Thank you, though. And they really appreciated my honesty, obviously. But I didn't tell them that the case was actually pretty destroyed and mangled, and it's ripped in a couple areas as well. Looks like it had traveled from across the pond. And I don't know, it almost looked like somebody had opened it. I don't know what the deal was with it, but it was mildly tampered with, and the inside was cracked, the plastic particles everywhere and shit, so it definitely traveled long and far. But it got to me. I didn't think there was any sense in them, you know, sending me another copy since I did receive it finally. And they also offered, I think the other thing they gave me is a CD. I think they're releasing music or something, some sort of project they're working on. But they gave me like a, you know, like a downloadable pass to grab that. So that was cool, nice of them. I was impressed with the customer service for sure. But anyways, Hotel Inferno 2, I'm not sure like if does it take place immediately after the first film. Judging by the synopsis, it almost seemed like a slightly different story. But if you guys haven't seen the original Hotel Inferno, and you like first-person shooter games, it's kind of like a first-person shooter horror movie. So you really feel like you're in there the whole time. And it's just a fucking brutal gore fest. So if you want to just watch a movie for the special effects and an onslaught of murders that are very like brutal, check it out. And you can get Wild Eye put out a cheap DVD release of it as well. So you don't have to import it from Necrostorm if you don't want to. On Blu-ray, you have the option of getting the first Hotel Inferno on DVD from Wild Eye. But anyways, this is the second one. Can't wait to check it out. It's been out for a little while now, but just getting around to getting it. So, alright guys, before we get into the unboxing, I need to have a swig of this beautiful crystal raspberry lime seltzer. I love this stuff, man. Ever since I stopped drinking soda, this is like my holy grail. I drink these every day. The only thing I don't like is that they fizz like crazy. You gotta be like really careful when opening. Oh yeah, it's like so. When you're thirsty, it's just like, I just salivate over the crystals, the carbs, or the, you know what I'm talking about. The crystally clear carbonation. Oh, so good. Yes. Sorry. I needed that. Alright. Ever since I got in this car accident, I'm getting like this fucking cramp right in my lower left like abdomen, and it hurts. Fucking bad. Ugh. I should complain. File a lawsuit. If I was smart, I would. But too late. Alright. I don't know why I just said that, but package from Mike from Grindhouse Video Tampa. Really, really stoked for what's in this box. I think it's 3 movies. Come on. And by the way, thank you to everyone who purchased movies from me recently. I sold a couple, and I just want to let you guys know, if you're watching this, they're all mailed out, so you should be getting yours soon. I still have Charlie Warwick, by the way. Bong of the Dead. Great, fucking awesome movie. I'm surprised nobody wanted this. Charlie Warwick's great too, so. And then the 2 Batman seasons on DVD, so holler at your boy if you're interested, guys. Alright. 4 movies. Alright, so first up we have a DVD. Really, really, really excited for this. So Mike really, really liked this, and I love his honesty. He's just like, yeah, you know, Wild Eye puts out a lot of shit. Not gonna lie. That's one thing. You can count on Mike to just tell it how he sees it, no matter what, whether he's right or wrong. You're gonna get an honest opinion from him, and I appreciate that. Carousel Hell or Carousel Hell. That's kind of clever. Carousel. Yeah, he was like pleasantly surprised by this one. I love the fair and carousel. Anything that involves fucking unicorns and carousels and fairgrounds, I'm down with. And if you mix that with horror, and say "step right up and die" as a tagline, and you start Haley Madison, I'm down, man. Yeah, so Duke, a carousel unicorn, hates his job. He has let the kids climb on his back and ride him for hours every day. But one kid has finally pushed him too far. I almost read that sentence twice. Duke breaks free of his eternal carnival hell and embarks on a sadistic, bloody rampage of revenge on humanity, starring with a White House party full with a White House party full of soon-to-be victims. Horror is a damn good place right now, but that doesn't mean... Horror isn't a damn good place right now, this is a quote, but that doesn't mean there's no longer a place for silly, fun, and over-the-top horror. It's kind of a stupid quote. The word horror should not have been used twice in the same sentence, in my opinion. But it says, horror is a damn good place right now, but that doesn't mean there's no longer a place for silly, fun, over-the-top horror. Great English. Exactly what the horror community needs, says Horror Society. So, anyways, yeah, people are just pleasantly surprised by this low-budget romp. And I'm stoked. I really want to check it out. I'm going to watch it tonight, Carousel. Alrighty. Next up, we have one from Arrow Video that I've never seen before. The Possessed. This is a film Ooh, I'll read you the synopsis. Okay, I wanted to get the year, though. It's 1965. Okay, so The Possessed is a wonderfully atmospheric proto-giallo based on one of Italy's most notorious crimes, the Alleghi killings. Adapted from the book on the case by acclaimed literary figure Giovanni Comiso. Peter Baldwin stars as Bernard, a depressed novelist who sets off in search of his old flame, Tilda, a beautiful maid who works at a remote lakeside hotel. Bernard is warmly greeted by the hotel owner, Enrico, and his daughter, Irma. But Tilda has disappeared under suspicious circumstances. Bernard undertakes an investigation and is soon plunged into a disturbing drama of familial secrets, perversion, madness, and murder. It's co-written by the director of... it's co-written by Giulio Uesti, who did Death Laid an Egg, which is a great giallo. And it's co-directed by Luigi Bazzoni, The Fifth Chord, which Arrow just put out as well. Footprints on the Moon. That's one that I think Redemption put out. So, cool. Yeah, sounds good. Proto-giallo. I am always game for a giallo. Al Pacino is cruising for a killer. Cruising. Did they put that out? Obviously they did. I got the J card for it, but I didn't know that. So, first pressing, as always, for an Arrow release, you get the booklet, reversible cover artwork. That's every pressing, but the booklet. I like that. I like that a lot better. So, there's the cover that's featured. It's classy, but I like the more, like, hand-drawn Kino Lorber. It's almost like a Western Kino Lorber look, that cover right there. Mixed with, you know, giallo, obviously, but rad. So, cool. So, that is The Possessed. Psyched. Love me some Arrow. Did you guys see the Arrow announcements today? They announced straight. What's the one that's like never been released on Blu-ray or DVD ever before? Fuck, I forget the name of it now. There's a release that they are putting out in April. That's really cool. Check out their slate. There's a Takashi Miike film. Iguana, some like highly sought after film, and then there's one that's really cool that's never had a release before, so that's exciting. But yeah, so anyways, that's from Arrow. Next up, we have a new one from VCI. Kiss of the Tarantula. I've been meaning to pick this one up for a few weeks, and I just kind of spaced it multiple times. I love killer spider movies of all kinds. I don't like spiders. Like, as I mentioned before, like, I own snakes. I'm just not a spider guy, but I love being entertained by them and creeped out by them, because I am. They creep me out, man. Spiders creep me out. No doubt. Spiders creep me out, no doubt. Alright, so anyways, I've never seen this movie. 1975. So it's another killer spider flick to add to the list, so I'm always game for that. VCI kind of putting things out once in a blue moon, but there always seem to be pretty cool releases that they're putting out, at least. So it's a DVD Blu-ray combo pack. 1975. Mommy and Daddy operate and live in a mortuary with their daughter, Susan, who collects tarantula spiders and has always been ostracized by her friends. Because, well, she's a little bit strange. In true schlocky B-movie horror fashion, this is a real all-American dysfunctional family. So when Susan discovers that Mommy Dearest is plotting to have her dear old dad killed, this puts sweet little Susie over the top. Pulling out all the stops, she makes good use of her father's mortuary, using her creepy little playmates to exact horrendous revenge. A swinging 70s drive-in classic. So stoked. I mean, come on. I'm excited for that one. Alright, guys. Last, but certainly not least, fucking Double Dragon, man. MVD. Putting out the goodness. Yeah, baby. It's been a minute since I've seen this movie. I used to love Double Dragon as a kid. The video games. Do you guys remember playing Double Dragon on, like, Nintendo? Oh, I loved it. I loved it. What were the dudes' names? The two of them? I forget. I'm so stoked for this, though. I totally This is a 90. I thought it was an 80s film. It's from 1994. So anyways, 90s action goodness. Double Dragon, baby. With the Slippy Dippy, and you got the Blu-ray DVD combo pack with the nice throwback slip cover, obviously. That's what I just said, Slippy Dippy, but yeah, dude. I'm stoked. This is number 14 on the MVD Rewind collection. I'm getting confused now because MVD's they have so many different, like, they have the Rewind collection, the Classics, the Marquee, a bunch of them. But anyways, cool. So you get a sick poster, which is the cover artwork. And then you get the DVD and the Blu-ray. Awesome. And what's going on here with the reversible? You get reversible cover artwork as well, but it looks to be... Oh yeah, that's rad. That's so rad. Yeah, dude. Which cover do you like better? That one? I like the green, but I also like that. That's cool too. Tough call, man. I think I'm gonna put the reversible because we have that newly, or that other cover. I don't know if it's newly commissioned or what, but we have that on the slip cover, so we can. I love that when they give you options, so I can display it. Oop. Can display it like this now. Rad. Awesome. Alright, from producer Don Murphy from the Transformers franchise, Jane Hampshire from Natural Born Killers, Alan Schechter, and writers Davis blah 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 blah, comes the cult classic movie based on the video game Smash. Double Dragon roars to life with amazing special effects, spectacular action sequences, spectacular action sequences, and a knockabout sense of humor. It's the year 2007, man. We're in the future. And what remains of LA is now New Angeles, a city ravaged by earthquakes, tidal waves, and vicious gangs. The evil tycoon Kogashoku, played by Robert Patrick, awesome, is obsessed with finding the two halves of talisman known as Double Dragon. And we have an amazing, which gave them, okay, awesome, so yeah. It's a hunt for the Talus and Double Dragon. Awesome. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat in a sense, like the same plot type deal. Not really, though, at all. Just from the same subgenre, I guess. Something like that. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm stoked. Double Dragon on Blu-ray DVD combo pack. MVD Rewind. Get it while it's fucking hot. Sorry, I get excited, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm excited. I've got some good movies to go watch, so I'm gonna do that. Tonight's Vietnamese night, too, so yeah, just loving life. Eating good food, watching good movies, motherfuckers. That's the slogan. That's what we do up in T-Money World. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Latest.